Alright guys, I picked up a new gimbal recently. This is the RS3 Mini. For like at least 5 years or so, I used the Zion Crane Plus. This was a great gimbal. I made hundreds of thousands of dollars using this thing, and I really liked it. And the only reason I upgraded or got a new gimbal was because this switch here, which made it autofocus, stopped working. And I don't use autofocus all that much, but I'll autofocus and then I'll kind of dial it in manually. So yeah, that's the only reason that I really upgraded. But besides that, this thing is a great gimbal, and I really liked it because I could use batteries. I could switch out batteries and be able to just put new batteries in if I needed to, but usually this would get me through a 8-hour day. I would film weddings with it, 8 to 10 hours, and if I needed to, I could just switch out batteries if need be. But I saw this just came out, and this is the RS3 Mini. It's a very tiny gimbal, and some differences. It's got a touch screen on it, and something that I really like about it is that I'm able to manually focus my camera with the included cable that it comes with. With this one, I would kind of manually focus, you know, as people are coming or going, I'd have to manually focus. But with this guy, it comes with the cable. I actually went out and got a TRRS cable that I ordered specifically to use with this, but it's not that function, or it's not that cable you need. You actually need the micro USB-C that was already included, but I was used to using the TRRS, so I thought I needed that, but I really didn't. The cable comes with it, which is really cool, and I'll show you that here in a second. So this thing's super light. It weighs 850 grams without the little tripod feet. The tripod feet are included, and then with the tripod feet, it weighs 967 grams. So it's very light, very compact, built-in battery. And that means that once the battery's dead, you'll have to recharge it. But I did notice you can, if you had like a battery pack, you could rig that on here somehow and plug this into a battery pack and still be able to use it. Now they say 10 hours of usage, but that's with just the camera sitting stationary. I have my Panasonic GH5 with the 10 to 25, and I got 9 hours sitting stationary. So if you're actually using this, I would expect maybe 5 hours, maybe 6 hours, which should be enough for most case scenarios. But if you have like a lighter camera, you probably might get a little bit more. But this setup right here weighs 3.4 pounds, and the max payload of the Mini is, I think it's, 4.4 pounds. So it's tiny, and it can support, you know, decent amount of weight. So just a basic gimbal. I mean, it does have these lock features where you can flip these down and they will lock into place just to lock the access when you're not using it. And you can do that on every single access. Now I know with the RS3, you can lock it by just pushing a button, but I mean, it's not a big deal. You just slide to unlock and slide to unlock and then slide to unlock. Where's this one at? Right there. Okay. So I'll just go ahead. I'll put my camera on here. With this gimbal, you can shoot landscape mode, of course, but you can also pull this off and shoot in portrait mode too, which can be handy. I'll slide my camera on here. It does have a little button, so that way, just in case the lock came loose, your camera's not going to slide out. It'll be locked in there unless you push that button right there. So we'll go ahead. Balancing is just like an ordinary gimbal. You just balance each axis, whatever, and flip it up like this. You would balance it like that, and then hold it like this and slide this part in and out. And then you go ahead, flip it around here. And I will plug in the cord. So the cord plugs in on this side right here on my GH5. And this gimbal does work if you got newer cameras with Bluetooth, then you can connect via Bluetooth, but I guess I'm rocking a dinosaur camera, the GH5, so you still need the cable, but the cable's included, which is nice. And I kind of prefer using a cable because my battery life probably lasts a little bit longer not having the Bluetooth hooked up. So that's just, I don't know. So turning it on, you have a power button right here. Now you can push this power button and on the screen it will show you how much power is in there. Otherwise you'll do like a long hold and that will power the gimbal on. I'm probably going to move the camera now just so you can kind of see the screen and exactly what we're doing, or maybe I'll just move closer like this. Let me see if I can do. All right, so you should be able to see the screen now, and I'll zoom in and out so you can see it. So the power button over here, long press, turn it off. Short press will show you the battery life like this, 92%, and then a long press will turn it on. Now, after you have it balanced and you turn it on for the first time, it had like a little QR code I had to scan, and it asked me to download the app. And from the app, you can do things like controlling the RS3 Mini. You can do like time lapses, panoramic, and you can also set this M button to different modes of shooting. But the first thing I suggest doing after you turn it on is hit this button right here. And what this is going to do is calibrate even more just the setup that you have on it. So I'll hit calibration, and it will go through some kind of wiggling and things like that, and just calibrating up the gimbal a little bit more precise. And there's some noises there. And then once that's done, I'll just say good. And now it's just even better balanced, I guess. So you got a little joystick right here, which will allow you to move it up and down and also left and right. And then you have a record button right here, and that will, is my camera on? Okay. So I can start recording like this, and I can also half press this and it will autofocus. Let me go here. Right now I have this front wheel. There's a front wheel on this. I have it sent to aperture, but I'll show you the manual focus in just 1 second. So we'll switch it here. It's on autofocus, so now it will autofocus. And then I can start and stop recording. And your M button is going to be for switching between the modes. So if I go to M3, it'll just be a different type of, I think it's FPV. Yeah, FPV. And then M1 is just going to point it straight up and down. So when you're using it like this, and then you can kind of spin the camera like that. All right. Now there's also a trigger on the front right here, and you can push this trigger 3 times and it will flip it around. So if you want to use it to point it at yourself, and then you double tap it and it will center it in any position that it's in. Say I'm right here and I double press, it will re-center the camera. So back to the screen here, we have a couple other so you can do like the follow speed. So when I'm going right and left, if you want that speed to be a little slower, you can slow it down to medium or slow, or you can customize it. You can swipe down on this screen. I turn the sound off, otherwise it beeps from time to time, I guess with different settings. And here's that Bluetooth I told you about. So if your camera's, you know, newer and has Bluetooth, GH5 has Bluetooth, but for some reason doesn't work with it, but you can control like the shutter, focus, and all that stuff via Bluetooth. So that's what you would go to for that. You can lock the screen, so that way if you accidentally bump something, it's not going to do something you didn't want it to do. So you would just swipe up to cancel that. Swipe down, and then we have some more settings here. You can disable the selfie. orbit follow, push mode, gimbal auto check, restore parameters, language, firmware, things like that. So you can also swipe up on this, and here we go with the joystick speed. And if you wanted to go fast with the joystick speed compared to going slow with the joystick speed, or you can customize it. And then you also have the joystick smoothness, and then we have the dial function. So the dial function you can set, which is going to be this dial right up here on front. Right now you can see the screen, I have it set to aperture, but you can also set that to ISO, adjust your ISO. You can also use it to control the shutter. I'll adjust the shutter. I have it set to angle right there. But you can also control the gimbal with this too. You can set it to roll or pan, tilt. Okay, but I want to set it to focus. So I'll just leave it there on focus. Let me tap this so it will go straight again. There we go. Okay, and you can also adjust this wheel. So say you didn't want like a quick focus, you can go to dial function, dial speed. Right now I have it set to 5, okay, because I like a nice slow manual focus, and I'll have to switch here. Okay, and now check that out. I can literally just focus manually with the wheel in front, and I think that's probably the best thing I like about this gimbal. Is it allows you to dial that focus in. I don't need a focus wheel up here or anything like this. And with this gimbal too, I can, here I wanted to show you one other thing. So there's a little indicator, where is it at? Okay, see this green thing that's saying it's balanced, okay, that little icon there. But say I wanted to zoom in and out my lens, which I'll do often because I'll just want different, so you'll see it turn red there, okay? And I like to hold it. Orange means it's kind of like, oh, I can tell something's going on. Red's like, oh no. But you can hold this thing for a second, and I can go in and out, and it's not gonna go limp on me, okay? And then I can go in there real tight, and then I can focus. Just like that. It's pretty awesome. And like I said, when you can connect with the app, you can change like the modes if you wanted different modes, or set your own parameters. Or you can click on this there and you can go through the different, what is it, PF, P, TF, FPV, and custom, and then you have the 3D roll. Okay, and also we'll just kind of look around here on the side. You have these are to attach, they have like a briefcase option, or if you want to attach like an external monitor, you can do that. Here on the front you have the wheel, that's what I was using to control the manual focus. Then you have this trigger, 1, 2, 3, flips it around, and then whatever position that it's in, hit 1, 2, and it will straighten it out. Over here on the side, this is where you would charge it. Charge time is about 2.5 hours. And like I said, you can plug this in and have it, like I have this cord plugged into my computer, so I can charge it while I use it. So that would be a nice feature there too. But overall, it's a nice gimbal. Like, I'm pretty happy with it. I will probably opt for the RS3 only because there's a longer battery life, and also they sell additional batteries. So yeah, but besides that, yeah, I guess I'll throw some sample footage